take your seats. Today I'll be giving a lecture on John Jay's address to the state of New York over independence. Now, the year 1776 was a great year for the people as a whole in terms of their struggle for independence and freedom. And of course, we had many other significant and well-known documents that came out, ranging from... However, as the year began to close, John Jay decided to confront the people of New York with two alternatives. June 7th came around, and Richard Henry Lee decided to pass a motion to Congress in order to declare independence. This document brought satisfaction to the people, setting apart British rule from newfound America's. Many were relieved by the nation's favorable outcome. However, they'd still been impacted by the betrayal and the deception put forth by the British that they never even took responsibility for. The Great Fire of 1776 came around in New York, allowing the British's former anger to turn into flames. 200 suspected sympathizers were charged and arrested by the British for Washington and the colonists' acts of burning 2/3 of the city of New York. This opened up a world of opportunities for John Jay and allowed him to take center stage to present to the people of New York what they were capable of as a nation.
The great God of the universe created you and all men free, and authorized them to establish government for the preservation for their rights, oppression, and the security of the liberty he had given them. The rapacious hand of tyranny and lawless power, and it is not only necessary to the well-being of society, but the duty of every man to oppose and repress all those, by whatever name or title distinguished, who prostitute the powers of government to the purpose of destroying the happiness and freedom of the people over whom they may be appointed to rule.
Sharing similar belief to not only Thomas Jefferson, but Congress as a whole, John Jay was convinced that they could oppose the brutality and cruelty put forth against them. John Jay had inspired the colonists and their fellow people to rise above and create a government that went against the false virtues of British law. A growing community was faced with violence and brutality as the British set forth on their land so ignorantly and claimed it as if it was their own.
The people of Britain never claimed a right to dispose of us and everything belonging to us according to their will and pleasure till the reign of the present king of that island. It seems as if Providence was determined to use it as an instrument to punish the guilt of this country and bring us back to a sense of duty to our Creator.
The king used manipulative tactics in order to make the colonists feel guilty in terms of what they asked for in return for their civil duties. Harsher laws seemed to be the only final solution left for the British, including the coercive acts and taxes. Government standards were no longer limiting the rebels from committing such acts of terror and violence.
They speak peace, but hold daggers in their hands. Tell those who blame you for declaring yourselves independent that you did no more than what your late king had done for you. He made war upon you, and instead of your king, became your enemy and destroyer. You have it in your power to choose what government you please, and to choose what rulers you think proper.
The king in no way deserved his title, for instead of bringing protection and safety amongst his people, instead brought hatred. This allowed the people to fail in recognition of what government they truly deserved to have. Any who dared to defy the king would have to face cruel and immoral punishment.
But let those alarmed at this consider that it is not for a few acres of land we are fighting. It is for freedom. That we fight not for conquest, but only for security. That we have humbly sought peace and been refused. That we have been denied even a hearing.
No matter how often the colonists attempt to put their best foot forward, they still keep getting rejected in their efforts to create peace and harmony. This goes back to the idea of taxation without representation and wanting legislators to be seated in Parliament to propose their personal perspectives and ideas. John Jay is notifying the people that their independence is attainable as long as they all work together as a nation, as a whole, to fight for what they believe in. A whole new mindset has struck these colonists, and now, with John Jay's words in mind, they were ready to conquer anything and find a destination to freedom. Please don't pack up, class. The bell doesn't dismiss you, I do. Thank you for watching.